It's certainly a model where he comes into something with very little expertise and thinks he is the master cutter. I mean, Donald Trump called him that basically on a Twitter space or X space or whatever. And he's the master cost saver basically, and he thinks of that in his mind. And so when he came into Twitter, he had this goal of eliminating $1 billion in costs across employment and other cost savings. And what did that mean for him? Well, that meant not paying rent. It meant cutting janitorial services. It meant cutting food, cutting health benefits.
Pushing for attrition through a return to office mandate. I mean,
Sure.
all these things that you now see him proposing for DOGE. He's proposing,
Department of Government
right?
Efficiency,
He's proposing a mandatory return to office mandate for government employees that will lead to voluntary resignations. He's talking about the real estate footprint of the federal government and how they could reduce buildings. Talking about the utilities being spent to power these buildings that are unoccupied. So it's really the same thinking and the same strategic moves that went into cost cutting at Twitter that he's now trying to take and apply to the federal government. And it's so interesting because there's now all these senators kind of trying to pull his ear and say, hey, wait, we have some cost cutting plans that are strategic and aren't just stopping paying rent on federal buildings. But he wants to take the Twitter playbook and apply it to the federal government.
So if you think of the scale, it's $1 billion at Twitter, it's $2 trillion in the federal government. There's going to be some pain there. And his view on pain is that, he said this publicly, is we're going to endure some pain for long-term growth, right? If you bear with it in the short term, we will all prosper in the long term. And he's also said things like, if it hurts so much, I can just put it back. If I cut Social Security, I'll just put it back. You'll have it. You'll have it. And that was his view on certain things at Twitter. For example, he fired folks who had no idea what their jobs were, and the platform was just screwed for a while. And he's like, okay, shit, we need to hire these people back. Let's bring them back. And he did. And that's kind of his view on it. We'll cut until it's so painful or so unbearable, and maybe we'll just bring some of this back and fix it.